What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Small Feet Big Heat. If it's your first time touching down on this channel, we talk sneakers, we talk streetwear, and everything in between. Now, today's video is exactly what you see in the title. We'll be getting into the Animal Instinct 2.0s, which I personally think are better than the 1.0s. But hey, let's argue about it in the comments. I want to hear you guys' opinions. I did go ahead and pick up my pair from GOAT about a week and a half ago. I was expecting to get them early or at least on time, but I ended up getting them about 2 days after the release. So I have them here. Let's go ahead and get into these shoes because I am really excited to see these. Threes are one of my favorite silhouettes, and I really like the color blocking on this pair. I think people are really sleeping on it. These released in men's sizes, starting at a men's 3.5 all the way up to a men's 16. So I went ahead and I got my usual size. I got a men's 6 or a grade school 6 if it was grade school. I'll go ahead and let you guys see the label. Always nice when they give smaller sizes the nice box as well. So let's go ahead and pull that back. We have some black tissue paper and also some white tissue paper. Now, since the sneaker is a Animal Instinct 2.0, they decided to go with more of a reptile concept since the first one had more furs, and I really like this one better. I think it's a lot more up my alley and a lot more wearable than a sneaker with fur kind of all over it, and I'm really going to get a lot of wear out of this. I personally think the design team behind this one did a really good job of placing those different scales and textures and colors as well on the shoe so that it looked cohesive and it told the story, versus having a sneaker that turned out jumbled or just looking way too busy. Starting with the outsole of the shoe, you have a majorly cream colored outsole with some yellow and red accents, and then of course it says Jordan inside that yellow panel there, like it does traditionally on all threes. And then moving up from there, of course, you have your air bubble. On the back heel counter, you kind of have this black piece, and on the rest of the midsole is cream like the outsole. Near the front of the shoe on the mud guard, it's this snake skin, which personally is one of my favorite skins on the shoe. I think that piece looks really nice. And on the back upper of the heel here, you have a brown elephant skin, which is traditionally on threes. I'm glad they didn't get rid of the elephant print. On the upper, you actually have two different textures. So on the lower part of the upper, you have what feels like this pebbled leather that I believe we've seen before on a Travis Scott. And then moving up from there, you have what looks more like a lizard skin or a snake skin. On the mid panel, right around the tongue area, that is a gray color, and tongue is actually some kind of scales. It may be snake skin scales. I'm not really sure. I would love if they actually gave you a map to tell you what animals the skin is supposed to be imitating. The eyelets down here are red, which I think is a nice touch. It kind of accents the rest of the red pieces on the shoe, which would be the red Jumpman and the red satin on the back of the tongue. And then of course, the eyelets up here near the top or the ankle are yellow, and that plays off well with this back heel tab, this nice yellow Jumpman. And then of course you have this green ankle collar right here. I think that this yellow and the green play into the sneaker really well. I know it threw a lot of people off, but I personally think that it looks dope and it really brings the shoe together. On the inside, you have a satin liner, which feels really nice. That is a yellow insole inside there with a red Jumpman. Hopefully you all can see that. Very nice. It's just another color accent to the shoe. I'm not sure why people are hating on these. Maybe it's the $250 price tag. I will say for $250, I'm not seeing any glue stains on here, any kind of quality control issues. And of course, you do get extra laces. You get one red and one yellow to really set these off, which I will show you guys in the on foot. And yeah, I don't know why these are getting so much hate. I really like them, and I'm glad that I went ahead and copped them when I did. Now, these are still in stock on the SNKRS app if you want to go ahead and pick them up. But enough talking. Let's go ahead and roll into the on foot. And just like that, we're back for my final thoughts. And my final thoughts really aren't that different than my first impressions. If these said Travis Scott, they would have flew, they would have sold out, and people will be punching the air right now because they missed out on a pair. The nature of the beast right now in the sneaker game is that we don't really get a chance to try shoes on, see what they look like, see how they work into our style before we decide whether or not we want them. You cannot walk into a store and pick up limited J's anymore. So now that you have the chance and these are sitting on sneakers, I would definitely say pick them up. They were worth the $250 in my opinion, and now you have a chance to pick them up. And if you don't like them, Nike does free returns, and that's not a chance you get very often with the way that the sneaker game is right now. So why not get them in hand and try them out for yourself? I can tell you right now, you won't be disappointed. This is one of the most slept on sneakers of 2020. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I have it in the collection. The $250 was well spent. One detail I did forget to mention is that on these shoes, on the back of the tongue, it does say Animal Instinct. So one shoe says Animal and one shoe says Instinct. A very dope touch if you ask me. Some people will probably think it's corny. I like it, the way that it's stitched in there. It's different than the usual Air Jordan. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, show a small YouTuber some love. It really helps the channel, gets the videos out there so that more people can see them, and I will catch you all in the next one.